This is your weekly report on corruption in the Philippine government. A barangay councillor in Cansomoroy, Balamban Town, West Cebu was gunned down by still unidentified motorcycle riding assailants on Thursday, the 6th of October. Anastasio Pacquiao, who is also running for village chief of Barangay Cansomoroy in the upcoming Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections, was driving his motorcycle at past 5 p.m. when the perpetrators shot him in the head. Balamban Police Chief Lieutenant Glenn Hife said the shooting incident happened in Barangay Prinzad, also in Balamban Town, which is some 50 kilometers west of Cebu City. The victim's family told the police that the village councillor did not receive any threat to his life. Police said they have yet to establish the motive behind the killing. A barangay councillor running for chairman in the barangay elections on the 30th of October was wounded in an ambush in Barangay Gracia Village, Urdaneta City, Pangasinan on Tuesday night, the 3rd of October. Police identified the victim as Salvador Tan Garcia, 45, a resident of Barangays in East Malasiqui, Pangasinan. Garcia was driving his black Nissan Terra on the way to his house in Barangay Gracia Village when he was shot several times by an unidentified gunman. The victim sustained bullet wounds and brought himself to the Urdaneta District Hospital in Barangay Dilan Perido, Urdaneta City. He was later transferred to the Sacred Heart Hospital, Barangay San Vicente, Urdaneta City. Police have conducted checkpoint and dragnet operations against the suspect. Pangasinan Police Chief Police Colonel Jeff E. Fangd said that an in-depth investigation on the incident is ongoing. A village treasurer in Leyte Town was killed while his companion was wounded when unidentified gunmen fired at them in Barangay Cahigan and the municipality of Villaba on Thursday afternoon. Mateo Rasanable, 41, treasurer of Barangay Mataloto in Leyte Town, and his companion Gelin Gilane, 86, were on board a motorcycle when the assailants attacked them, said Villaba Police Station Chief Major Edwin Tolobus. Gilane managed to run despite having gunshot wounds in the different parts of his body. A thorough investigation is being conducted by the Villaba police to identify the perpetrators and the motive behind the killing. The Sandigan Bayan has affirmed the graft conviction of incumbent and former officials of Patnongan Town in Antique and a private individual in the irregular transfer of ownership of the municipality's 9.9 million peso rice mill in 2007 and 2008. Denied were the motions for reconsideration filed by Patnongan Mayor Johnny Flores Bacangallo, Vice Mayor Thomas V. Bacayoco, Councillors Felix Gregorio G. Barrientos and Albrian T. Crespo, and former Mayor Henry Mondaja, former Councillors Erica C. Orcasitas, Rene Philip G. Cayetano, and Teopisto C. Esteris, Jr., and Greater Antique Development Cooperative Chairman Efren G. Escavilla. The criminal charges filed against them stated that in January 2007 to 2008, they conspired with Escavilla and caused the transfer of ownership, operation and maintenance of the 9.9 million peso rice mill, which was intended for the municipality of Patnongan and funded from the Priority Development Assistance Fund of former Lone District of Antique Representative Ezequiel B. Javier. The transfer was reportedly made in favor solely of Grand Coupe without any financial consideration, research, study or justification of the necessity of entering into such partnership. The charges also stated they were found guilty of violating Section 3E of Republic Act No. 3019, the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, in a decision promulgated on the 14th of April, 2023. They were also banned perpetually from holding public office. In denying their motions, the court said that the evidence and the totality of the circumstances surrounding the transaction point to the existence of the concerted action of the accused movements and Grand Coupe in causing undue injury to the government and giving unwarranted benefits, advantage, and preference to Grand Cooperative. In sum, this court, after revisiting the facts and circumstances surrounding this case and with a further meticulous scrutiny of the arguments and counter-arguments respectively raised by the accused movements and the prosecution, this court, as earlier revealed, finds no cogent reason to alter, amend, revised, or even reverse its decision promulgated on the 14th of April, 2023, the resolution said. The police officer responsible for halting traffic flow along Commonwealth Corner Tandling Sora Avenue to allegedly let the convoy of Vice President Sarah Jutat pass through has been relieved from his post, according to the Quezon City Police District. QCPD issued a statement and likewise apologized after the video of a police officer identified as a certain Sergeant Pantolano went viral on social media Thursday afternoon. We would like to apologize for the inconvenience we have brought to the motoring public due to the stopping of the traffic flow along Commonwealth westbound, the QCPD said in a statement. That the said incident stemmed from a confusion and lapse in judgment of our policemen manning the traffic during that time. It added. According to QCPD, Pantolano overreacted and cleared the traffic as a sign of courtesy and security when he mistakenly heard the word VP and assumed that Vice President Sarah Jutat would pass through the area. The Vice President had been in Agusan del Norte since Wednesday. She attended the 122nd Police Service anniversary of the Philippine National Police Regional Office 13 in the World Teachers' Day celebration on Thursday. I apologize for my mistake. Forgive me. I thought a VIP will pass through. Pantolano was quoted as saying in the QCPD statement, I have ordered the relief of my policeman and put him under investigation to determine administrative liability for his actions. We assure the public that this incident will not happen again, Holy Spirit Police Station Commander Lieutenant Colonel Maginio said. 4 former executives of the defunct Technology and Livelihood Resource Center will face up to 47 years in prison after the Sandigan Bayan convicted them of graft and malversation in connection with the misuse of priority development assistance funds of former lawmaker Mark Douglas Cagas IV. The Anti-Graft Court's 3rd Division on Friday found former TLRC Deputy Director General Dennis Cunanan, former Group Manager and Legislative Liaison Officer Maria Rosalinda Laxamana, former Budget Officer Consuelo Lilian Espiritu and former Chief Accountant Marivic Jova guilty of 2 counts of graft, malversation of public funds and malversation of public funds through falsification. Each of them is also fined 5.4 million pesos and all were ordered to jointly return to the government 5.4 million pesos plus legal interests. They were also perpetually disqualified from holding any public office and their retirement or gratuity benefits were forfeited. The case involves a series of transactions in February 2008 where Cagas, then the House representative for the 1st District of Davao del Sur, endorsed to his chosen NGO, the Farmer Business Development Corporation, PDAF funds ranging from 600,000 pesos to 6 million pesos, supposedly for livelihood and development projects. Cunanan, Laxamana, Jova and Espiritu signed the disbursement vouchers. In convicting the 4 execs of graft, the Anti-Graft Court said the unilateral endorsement of funds to FDC violated procurement and appropriation laws and regulations because FDC was not among the listed implementing agencies of PDAF funded livelihood projects and the endorsement did not go through bidding nor was it a negotiated procurement. The transfer of funds also violated circulars of the Department of Budget and Management and the Commission on Audit, the court added. A candidate for barangay councillor was gunned down by motorcycle-riding assailants along the national highway in Barangay Casabahan, Gandara Town, Samar on Friday, the 6th of October. Roldan Pesidus, 43, supervisor of Achiever Security Agency Philippines, was driving his motorcycle at around 3 p.m. when the perpetrators on board their motorcycle suddenly fired at him. The victim suffered gunshot wounds in his body. The suspects fled towards Catbalogan City, according to witnesses. Police investigators said Pesidus was a candidate for councillor in Barangay Canhongoat, Catbalogan City, Samar. The Gandara police are conducting an investigation to identify the suspects and the motive behind the killing. A candidate for councillor or Kagawad in the Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections on the 30th of October was stabbed to death in front of his house in Barangay San Felix in this town on Saturday, the 7th of October. Police identified the victim as Marvin Lalos, 29, a former barangay councillor from 2013 to 2018. Investigation said Lalos was drunk and last seen with an unidentified man at about 12:01 am in Purok 1 on his way home. Lalos' sister heard him seeking help but paid no attention, thinking that he was just drunk. Minutes later, the victim was found bloodied with multiple stab wounds in the body. He was taken to the Bay Medical Center in Bay, Laguna where he was declared dead. Police arrested Jerry in a follow-up operation at 9:30 p.m. Saturday in Sitio Tanza, Barangay Tubuan, Pila, Laguna, for concealing and facilitating the escape of the suspect Jerome. Jerry was earlier seen in Barangay Cagaras, Magdalena, Laguna in a surveillance footage driving a scooter and Jerome as back rider on their way to the house of Uncle Jonathan to seek refuge. Jonathan rejected Jerry's request to stay and asked them to leave. Jerome is at large and is the subject of a police manhunt. A police officer is in hot water for allegedly planting evidence in a sari-sari community store in Limassol, Southern Leyte. Recently, a video, which has been making rounds online, showed Police Corporal Rul Arat, assigned to the Limassol police station, allegedly planting cigarettes in a store owned by one Rainiel Salomon after his alleged informant was able to buy a pack from him. He was also caught issuing a citation ticket and reading Salomon's rights which he refused to sign. Arat and Police Lieutenant John Michael Crispino, Limassol Chief of Police, have been relieved to give way to an investigation by the Southern Leyte Police Provincial Office. Police Colonel Hector Enage, Southern Leyte Police Director, said Arat will be assigned to the Provincial Holding and Accounting Unit. Enage added that an administrative or criminal case will be filed against Arat if evidence warrants. A special team of investigators from the Provincial Investigation and Detective Management Unit has been tasked to supervise the investigation. Police Major Marjorie Minuta, Regional Public Information Officer, said the Police Regional Office 8 has not yet released a statement on the 30th of September incident since they are still awaiting updates from the SLPPO. Arat defended himself in media interviews and social media posts. I am not overacting to get a search warrant. When you see someone illegally selling cigarettes, you can apprehend him, Arat said in an interview. He added that they have received reports that Salomon has been selling cigarettes. The Supreme Court has upheld the conviction of former Corella Town Mayor in Bohol and now incumbent Councilor Vito Beltran Rapel over his unliquidated cash advances and for pocketing money intended for tarsier preservation. In a 15-page decision promulgated on the 16th of August, 2023 but uploaded on the Supreme Court website on the 28th of September. The High Court's First Division reaffirmed the decision of Sandigan Bayan's Fourth Division that found Rapel guilty of 4 counts of graft, estafa and failure to render accounts. Rapel was sentenced to up to 22 years in prison. He was also ordered perpetually disqualified from holding public office and to pay the Corella municipal government 1,088,252 pesos and 92,239 pesos, which is equivalent to the amount involved in the cases. The criminal cases arose from incidents which occurred during Rapel's incumbency as mayor of Corella Town. Rapel used the proceeds of the municipality from its 40% revenue share in its joint undertaking with the Philippine Tarsier Foundation, Incorporated, for the operation of the Philippine Tarsier and Wildlife Sanctuary from the 25th of October, 2008 to the 15th of June, 2009, amounting 92,239 pesos. The court cited the testimonies of former Mayor's Office Secretary Celerina Varquez and Municipal Tourism Officer Maria Asuncion Pandan that they received the tarsier funds from PTFI and gave the whole amount to Rapel, following the latter's instructions instead of remitting the amount to the Municipal Treasurer's Office. In his defense, Rapel denied having received the tarsier funds. He attacked the credibility of witnesses Varquez and Pandan, stressing that they had motive to ascribe blame on him in order to evade liability for the missing funds themselves. Rapel was also found guilty of failing to account for 1,088,252 pesos worth of cash advances from a budget intended for the town's intelligence and confidential, travel and miscellaneous fund and other expenses. The court agreed with the Sandigan Bayan that the government suffered undue injury from Rapel's failure to liquidate or settle the amount of 1,088,252 pesos in public funds. The Land Transportation Office has summoned its former employee caught on video supposedly bullying a delivery rider over a traffic incident in San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. In a statement, LTO Chief Vigor Mendoza II said a summon has been issued against Gregorio Glean for him to appear before the central office this week for investigation. Glean was formerly a job order worker at the Driver's Licensing and Renewal Office of San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. I expect him to honor the summon. Failure to do so means that he is waiving his right for all the measures that we would take against him, not only as a driver's license holder but also a former LTO personnel who is supposed to be a model of courtesy and discipline on the road, said Mendoza. Mendoza said he ordered the regional office where Glean was formerly employed to make sure that Glean will no longer be hired by the LTO, especially that the LTO chief found out that Glean was appealing to the LTO Region 3 to go back to his old job. The LTO said initial investigation indicated that Glean was supposedly armed. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. on Monday suspended Teofilo Guardiz III from his post as Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board Chair amid reports of alleged corruption. The Presidential Communications Office announced the suspension in a statement, stating that Marcos already instructed an investigation on the matter. The president does not tolerate any misconduct in his administration and has instructed the immediate investigation of this matter, the PCO said. He strongly condemns dishonesty and duplicity in public service, it added. Criminal and administrative complaints were filed on Wednesday, the 11th of October, before the Office of the Ombudsman against Panabo City, Davao del Norte Mayor Jose Relampagas and the appointment of the city's budget officer as officer in charge when he traveled abroad from the 21st of September to 23rd, 2023. The complaints against Relampagas and City Budget Officer Jovan M. Seppi were filed personally by Vice Mayor Gregorio U. Dujali at the OMB's offices in Quezon City for violation of Section 3E of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act and grave misconduct. Neither Relampagas nor Seppi could be contracted for their comments as of posting. The complaint stated that Relampagas issued last the 19th of September Memorandum Order No. 674, Series of 2023, addressed to Seppi, who was assigned as the city's officer in charge from the 21st of September to the 23rd of September, 2023. Dujali said in his complaints that he should have been assigned as officer in charge to assume the responsibilities and carry out the functions of the city mayor while Relampagas was away. It is crucial to emphasize that the law does not bestow upon the mayor the unilateral authority to designate an alternative officer in charge in such situations, he said. He also said that while Relampagas was away, Seppi issued Memorandum No. 892, Series of 2023, which suspended work in all local government unit offices on the 22nd of September and approved a purchase order for 4,510 pesos. He pointed out that the Sangguniang Panlungsa did not receive any documentation regarding Relampagas' leave of absence, which was supposed to have been approved by the provincial governor. At the same time, Dujali accused Relampagas of reporting back to work on the 26th of September, which he said was confirmed by the Office of the City Legal. Alarmingly, no written declaration from the respondent, Relampagas, confirming his return to office was provided, as mandated by Section 46B of the Local Government Code. This significant omission raises serious questions regarding the adherence to proper procedures and the timing of the respondent's resumption of duties, further casting doubt on the legitimacy of his actions. Dujali's complaint also stated, thus, Dujali said, Relampagas portrayed a wanton, deliberate, and capricious disregard for the rule of law because he did not follow established legal procedures. Since Relampagas only appointed Seppi as OIC from the 21st of September to 23rd, Dujali said that there was a leadership hiatus from the 24th of September to 25th because Relampagas returned to his office only on the 26th of September. This glaring incongruity between the designated period of absence and the actual return date had profound and far-reaching consequences, Dujali said. Since Relampagas' appointment of Seppi lacked legal basis, the latter acted with manifest partiality when he acted in favor of the mayor, even in the absence of proper authority. Respondents' willingness to carry out actions stemming from an invalid designation, despite the potential harm and confusion it could cause to the local government, certainly demonstrates evident bad faith on the part of the respondent, Dujali also said. 7 of the 8 Cavite police officers who were caught on video while ransacking the house of a retired professor in an anti-drug operation have been dismissed from the service. In a press briefing in Camp Crame, Quezon City on Wednesday, Philippine National Police spokesperson Colonel Jean Fajardo said Top Cop General Benjamin Acorda Jr. has signed the dismissal order against Staff Sergeants Jesus Alday, Julius Barbon, and Amy Albuna, Corporals General Kidiang and Luamando Antonio, and patrol officers Riamel Zares and Rene Mendoza. They will be slapped with 6 counts of grave misconduct, 2 counts of less grave misconduct, 1 count of grave irregularity in the performance of duty, grave dishonesty and conduct unbecoming of a police officer, Fajardo said, adding that a court based his decision on the recommendation of the Police Force's Internal Affairs Service. This stemmed from the 2nd of August operation of the members of the PNP Drug Enforcement Group Unit, who were in civilian clothes when they forcibly entered the house of 67-year-old suspect Rebecca Koal in Barangay Alipin 1A, Imus City, Cavite. In a viral video, Koal was heard screaming for help during the incident. It also showed that other cops who remained outside of the suspect's residence were tinkering with a parked motorcycle and some police officers carrying some items from her house, including a tire and a motorcycle rim. The police officers also allegedly took cash, a laptop, and other items from Koal's residence. Koal was then arrested. They were relieved and taken into police custody after the incident pending criminal and administrative investigation. Charges of robbery were later filed against them. A municipal mayor in Maguindanao del Sur province was arrested Wednesday night by agents of the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao after he was linked to the murder of a town councillor last April. Mayor Suleiman Sandigan of Datu Salibo town did not resist arrest when law enforcers presented him with the warrant of arrest issued by the Regional Trial Court Branch 15 in Cotabato City. The CIDG, backed by Datu Pen Municipal Police Office personnel and the military 601st Infantry Brigade, served the warrant at around 7 p.m. in his home in Datu Piang town. Sandigan was linked to the 17th of April, 2023 murder of Datu Salibo Municipal Councillor Demzam Salongan. Salongan, 50, had just alighted from his pickup truck that time to attend a session at the town's Sangguniang Bayan building when shot dead by a gunman. The councillor's driver, John Mabzig, was injured in the incident. The arrested mayor denied the charges and insisted he was innocent of the crime. Following his arrest, Sandigan was brought to the CIDG detention facility in this city. The court recommended no bail for the mayor's arrest. 4 other individuals who were listed in the warrant of arrest with Sandigan have voluntarily surrendered, according to the CIDG BARMM. Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Ramilo on Wednesday said charges have been filed against 6 persons, including 3 officials of the Department of Agriculture, in connection with the alleged manipulation of onion prices in the country. In a press briefing, Ramilo said charges of hoarding, falsification and profiteering were filed by the National Bureau of Investigation against Benina Multipurpose Cooperative officials Israel Ragual, Marianne De La Rosa and Victor De La Rosa Jimenez. Meanwhile, the NBI has also filed charges of violation of Republic Act 3019, Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, against DA Assistant Secretary Christine Evangelista, Agribusiness and Marketing Assistance Service Officer in charge Junibat Dasagan and Bureau of Plant Industry Director Gerald Panganiban. The DA officials were also charged administratively for insufficiency and incompetence of official duties under the revised Administrative Code. We expect warrants of arrest to be issued once we file the case before the courts. We have raised the standards of evaluating cases. Our standard now is reasonable certainty of conviction. We may be a little slower but we are more sure of the cases, he added. The cases involved 8,000 bags of onion and the 20th of December 22 transacted with the Food Terminals Incorporated in Taguig City investigated by the NBI President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. earlier ordered law enforcement agencies to go after speculators and hoarders of onions, after prices soared to nearly 800 pesos per kilo even as farm good prices were only below 20 pesos at the time. We're talking about years and years of records, congressional records, and the thousands of pages of transcripts, so we have to dig through all of these. So far this is what we have obtained through our efforts, but we are looking at filing charges against other past officials and present officials of the DA and other officers, Ramilo said. Ramilo had previously directed prosecutors to ensure a sufficient case build-up for a conviction before cases are filed. That's all for this week. I'll see you next week with more stories of corruption and foolishness within the Philippine government.